Very, very good evening. Welcome back. Ronaldo Chaudhary here on arunfoot here on my YouTube channel. And sorry, I'm a little late today. Wanted to speak about things which are very, very general. And yeah, be it the Euros, be it Indian football news, be it Indian football transfers. And we can talk about it. Yeah, hope everybody's doing fine. As you can realize, I'm on the road. Hi, Sanskar from my side as well. Welcome back. And yeah, looking forward to talking about the things which are of interest to all of us. And let's talk about it. And yeah, good evening, Jen Joylian, as well from my side. Shomnath, hello, sir. Your thoughts on France versus Belgium? If you ask me, I was disappointed. A lot of hype around the game, a lot of conversations, a lot of talk about the game. But to me, it didn't live up to expectations. I expected more, especially from France. Belgium was ultra defensive, I thought. Uh, you know, so therefore, to me, I would have hoped, I would have expected more from both teams. Mbappe didn't look as good as he most probably could, and yeah, and again, to me, it wasn't what I was expected. Especially, but on the other side, especially the Belgian fans were great. The Belgian fans were, uh, uh, you know, and to me is, I think. Yeah, if they were playing stronger teams, I think both of teams would have suffered. I mean, the same thing could have been said about Portugal if you look at the way they played against Slovenia. So we've got a number of these teams who've gotten far in the tournament, but and this is football, right? Nobody asks at the end who deserves to go far, who doesn't deserve to go far in a tournament. And to me, again, yeah, Belgium were not as sharp as maybe they could have been in the past, but didn't look good to me. And you know, to me is on the other side, the French. Mbappe had his chances, but clearly wasn't sharp, and therefore I was overall disappointed. But again, the atmosphere was good, especially the Belgians were great. But yeah, let's see the next match that I get to watch. Maybe that will be better as well. So let's hope for that. Let's hope for that. On that, Sanskar, John Toral, done talk about that player. Well, John Toral is someone who's come through La Masia. He's an FC Barcelona product. He has, and was with Arsenal for a certain period of time, but couldn't make it at Arsenal. Had loan spells at numerous clubs: Birmingham City, Hull City, Granada, and Glasgow Rangers, and until recently was in Greece with the Greek Super League side Ofi Crete, and I thought, and I think, very creative person. Will be interesting to see how fit he is, and yeah, if he can make that difference. He sounds like a difference player, a potential player who can make a difference, but he'll have to prove it in the ISL overall. I would think, if you ask me. Murali, Belgium golden generation failed. Murali, I think I have said that to friends many years back. We talk about golden generations, but to me, if you ask me, I think Kevin De Bruyne was very right when he answered Tancredi and asked, if we have a golden generation, what about the others? Do they have golden generations all the time and whatever? And this whole talk about a golden generation is nice, but again, if you don't win anything, it ends, And to me, Belgium have been one of the best sides over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. But this Belgium squad, looking at it yesterday live, the golden generation, well, who's left? Kevin De Bruyne mainly. Jan Vertonghen was the guy who scored the own goal. So, that's maybe another one. Romelu Lukaku, never in there. Of course, 3 VR offside goals. Yeah, so that's the difficult situation and state of things. Shomrat, so when do you expect you have to go through the profile after July 3rd? Shomrat, they will go through the profiles, but I don't see them announcing anything like in a few days. Let's see how they formalize the process, and and let's wait and see what happens. Morally, many people criticize Indian player physicality, and how do you rate it in AFC Asia Cup, the matches against Australia, Uzbekistan we exposed? Physicality, we are much, much better today than we were maybe 10, 15 years back, but our physicality still is not of the level that would be needed to be performing against the best in Asia. I think that's the reality of where we stand at this moment, at this stage in Asian football. Orithro, hi, welcome back. Your thoughts on the BBC calling Ronaldo what he did after he missed the penalty? Absolute disgrace. Yeah, couldn't agree more. I know psychological pressure, he puts pressure on himself, but it was more show. It was too much of show. And this is one of the reasons I've never liked the player. He's a great player. He is a role model in the way he trains and everything. But there are antics which make me, again, the same I say about Jude Bellingham, and other players as well, Neymar. So therefore, if the BBC says, I've not read it, if the BBC has said that, I totally agree with them. And now, sir, what are your thoughts on India missing out on Kings Cup and Medika tournament? Did NAF approach them? As far as I know, they did, but they haven't agreed. They wanted to play other teams, and this is, I think, a fallout of our poor performances in the last few weeks and months, I guess. So therefore, yeah, we are not in the reckoning, so it's fine, Chetan says, if we don't play Kings Cup and Medika, forget about the development. Chetan, why would you forget about development? What is so special in these tournaments that we have to play them? Simple question. Please answer. For me, we can play friendlies. We're supposed to play the Interconti and host the Intercontinental Cup in September. So therefore, playing a tournament is nice. Playing friendlies is as important. So, yeah. East Bengal Club News, Pranjali, nothing at the moment. Sanskar, Miranda in Mumbai City FC, very shocking deal. Didn't expect Mumbai City would go on. Mohun Bagan, Super Giant, will release him. He left Mohun Bagan directly after the season. So Clifford was on the market. Anthony Fernandez wanted to leave. I think Clifford is one of the best of his generation. And therefore, I thought to bring in Clifford is for Mumbai City is certainly a very, very good deal. Morally, India performed poorly because of technical. We are weak and administration issue. Morally, it's an overall. It's not just to say technically we're weak on this, we're weak on that. The players lack certain basics, physicality we've spoken about. So yeah, it's a lot of things. Haranav, hi Jishu. After the India T20 World Cup win, thought came to my mind: can African work like pieces make independent private body, not dependent on government? Is there any such country that has it such? The AFF is an independent private body. So to me, to talk about and say that the AFF depends on the government is not supporting the AFF the way it should. Forget AFF, Indian sports. To me, the Indian government is not supporting Indian sports the way they should. So that's the reality. We can talk about a lot of stuff, but these things have not changed, have not improved in the way they need to, So therefore, a lot of work needs to go in, and that is one of those challenges that Indian football has at this moment, right? So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But the BCCI has one big advantage: it is the biggest body in its sport, right? They are the biggest body in the sport. So therefore, to even make that comparison is very, very unfair to any um, to any um, sporting body in India. So therefore, I think that's a very tough comparison for anyone to make. Against Australia, we're good in physicality. Chetan, I don't think so. Mohan Bagan, new defender, good player or old age, but no, he's a good one. It's a solid one. Another Aussie. So let's wait and see how he does. Yeah, most probably a better brand than Brandon Hamill, I would have said. India struggling in bigger stage because of technical issue or any other things? Morally, we're struggling because the overall package is not ready. As I said, technicality, yeah, certainly is an issue. Physicality is an issue. Basics is an issue. The coach has been an issue. The federation is an issue. The structure is an issue. Too many issues. Jen Joylin, when will AFF announce the new coach? At the moment, no idea. Let the 3rd of July go. Maybe that is the cutoff date. Maybe they will extend the cutoff date. A lot of coaches have applied. Let them go through it. Let them see what are the demands, what are the requirements, and then we can discuss of when and where the AFF will, appoint the new national team coach. Chetan, update about Steamach's next move. Chetan, I don't know, and honestly, I don't bother where he goes. Seriously. So no. How is nutrition taken care of in the German Youth Academy? There is no general plan. Clubs have nutritionists internally, and then they look at, they then independently decide on each club. AF is talking about Vision 2046, but they should focus on structure department rather than vision. Yeah, Murali, likely. Round of 16 games, disappointed. Chetan, I would say all. I thought Germany-Denmark was a good game. Spain-Georgia was an interesting game. So therefore, I wouldn't say that, so I think not all of the games can be put into the bracket of not being good or good enough. I would at least say and think. So therefore, that would be, I think, a little unfair. Rhythm, Indian football should now be the synonym of hopeless in the English dictionary. Yeah, but hope is the last thing which is left, right? So therefore, never lose the hope. Keep the hope. Arindam, Northeast United FC is conducting trial for U17 women's trial. Now Mandar Tamana has been the best addition for so many good initiatives. Mandar is someone I know for over a decade. I think he's one of the best that there is in Indian football. So for me, yeah, Mandar Tamane at Northeast United is something which hopefully will work out for the club and for him, and they will be able to build a stronger, robust structure. Amal Shaji, hi Amal, welcome back. Is there any update on the league structure? No, there's nothing. And I don't think there will be any update anytime soon, because I don't see the AFF coming out and saying and rectifying things, because there's, so therefore let's wait and see. Sorry. Murari, funds are the biggest issue for FF. It is an issue for FF, or you spend your money wisely. That is what I would say. So, yeah, let's wait and see. Chetan, do you think our players should be made more accountable for the performance? We only blame too much in AFF. Chetan, I think we also blame the players. Are the players accountable? The players need to be accountable. The players need to be held accountable, yes. But Steamach is the coach. He decides on the squad. He decides on the starting 11. He decides on the tactics and overall structure. That's the biggest problem. A different coach with a better understanding on certain things, I think India wouldn't have been that poor. So that's what I see. Sanskar said Jason, Dimi, Jamie, Hamill, and another centre back from Aussie. So change that club and was the Aussie Super Giants. Yeah. Aritra, if Mohammedan don't have a stadium, assuming Yuva Bharati Krangam not to be allowed. Will they be promoted, or will we have 3 home teams? Orithro, I think this stadium issue will be sorted. Either they will. I don't think they'll play Salt Lake Stadium. It looks like they will most probably play at Kishore Bharati, which is a smaller stadium on the southern fringes on Santoshpur. So I guess that's the one. I think I don't know if anyone of you has heard anything about bank guarantees. I still have not heard about bank guarantees. So that's uh, so therefore, yeah, that's the situation, I guess. Rhythm, can you explain the Deutsche football structure? Rhythm, the German football structure explained is very, very simple in the sense of that you have the top 2 leagues, which is the Bundesliga. Bundesliga 2 is run by DFL, which is a private entity comparable to FSDL. Third league onwards, it is run by the German Federation. So the third division is a German federation. The fourth division, the Regionalliga, is a regional league, which is not only run by state associations, but by regional sort of bodies. And below that, fifth tier down, it's the state association. Sixth tier is the state association. Seventh tier is the state association. And then the eighth tier, it starts with 8th, 9th, 10th. In some cities, you go down as far as 14th division. It's run by the local city or district federation. How is the poor South America or Africa countries produce better players? They have history. They have pedigree in football. And the desire to succeed. Many decades back, players went to Europe and tried and proved, not in Europe, but even North America when you had the NSL in North America. So therefore, that's something which is there. Janjola Onasa, can AFF appoint Park Hang-seo? I personally think he can be the best coach for India. He has good international campaign with Vietnam. Your opinion, please. He's most probably one of them who's running for the job, but is he the best candidate? I mean, my question is to you or to anyone who thinks that he is the best candidate. Is it just because you see the results of Vietnam? Have you spoken to people in Vietnam who worked with him, who know him? What is his track record earlier, right? So that's the problem with Seo or with the Segat. Is he the right coach or not? And therefore, there is no simple yes or no. I feel, at least. Yeah, well, you said sports education issue exists all over the world, but not conducting state league for a long time. Well, only the structure is the problem in India. It's not just a state league issue, right? The question is how is the national body, as I said, the national, the regional, the state, the district, city organized. That is the challenge in Indian football. So therefore, for me, let's wait and see. Chetan says we should try as a coach for at least one time. Chetan, I am not against this plan. Because I think there's going to be a biasness or a sort of nepotism which could be a danger with an ISL. I want a fresh coach to come in. I want someone to come in with no links to the system, no bias in the system. Let someone come in and try and build something new. Because a lot of these ISL coaches who will come in will pick ABCD. How's the youth structure, and does they have divisions as well? Rhythm, yes, the youth divisions, like the senior, will have or do have youth divisions. They're dividing youth divisions a little differently at under 19 and under 17 level. You had 3 Bundesligas. Now they will create 8 divisions. So they're trying to regionalize it more. They're going to try and have more matches. So let's see. Uday, AFC roadmap 2019 officially dustbin from next season. No relegation answer, but impose relegation on I-League. Uday, relegation in I-League already exists. The relegation in the I-League has been there since NFL days. And as someone who's worked on the roadmap, these were tentative dates. This was not something which is said, on this and this date, these and these things need to happen. So anyone who's reporting about it doesn't know what he's reporting about. How can I say that? I was part of the people who formulated the report, the roadmap. That's the reality. Jishu, yes, we know BCCI cannot be compared to FF, but BCCI have done something good in past and they're getting benefits of that. But away FF work, there's no hope in future. Jishu, yes, one has to certainly say the BCCI has done certain things right, but they were also lucky that Lalit Modi came around and created the IPL. The IPL is the financial game changer of Indian cricket. Never forget that. It's not the BCCI. BCCI got it to a certain level, but the IPL, that's the real game changer in Indian cricket. Not in Indian cricket, in global cricket. How do you see Arata Izumi as youth coach to manage national youth side? Arata is a dear old friend. To me, he could certainly coach the youth teams if given a chance. Again, he was with Reliance Foundation. He was with Inter Kashi last season. So therefore, let's wait and see. But at the moment, I don't see him being appointed by the FF. But Sambit, I agree. Yeah, very good candidate for under 70 to under 20s. Satska Budu or Poval, who will best see system future with Yontoral? See, you've got Yontaral and you've got Jeremy Manzoro as well. So let's figure that out. And then I have not delved so much or delved into deep to be able to say, listen, these are the players that this, Budu or Poval will be better. Let's wait and see who Mumbai City sign and then we'll see how they do. Is there any chance to change the FS selection committee? Amal, I don't think so at the moment. If you ask me honestly, I don't think so. You said basics are not good in our coaches, are outdated compared to foreign coaches. Yeah, that's one of the problems. So therefore, to me, it's one of those problems. It's one of those challenges that our coaching needs to be better. As I've said now multiple times over the last few weeks, we need to look at coaching. We need to look at grassroots. We need to look at youth football, and we need to look at the competitions. If we sort these four things out in the best possible way for X number of kids to come through the system, and the best can be funneled through a sort of a pyramid to the top, only then can we really be successful in the long run. There are no short-term fixes to this. So I hope at some stage, the right things happen. If Cape football is legalized as district or state league, would it benefit, bring out the talent? Cape football is, the problem is Cape football happens, let's say 1 week, 2 week over here, maybe even on a weekend somewhere, and then you move on to another village or to another locality. Can these Cape people run a tournament for, let's say not tournament, can they run a league for a whole 3 months, 4 months? I'm not even asking for a year, but that needs to be the end game. I don't think so. Are you a German citizen? RNR, yes, I am. What's your thoughts regarding the idea of West Bengal Sports Minister to allow only local players in CFL? Shoma, you can do it at the lower level. I wouldn't find it as a problem, but in the Premier Division, maybe in the first division, I think it's good for these Bengal boys to get tougher competition. And it is also good for Indian football because this gives an outlet for players from all over India to play. We need to find and build the right structures in these things. Right. Just realized didn't do this today. Sorry. As always, those of you who are watching, again, I forgot to say at the start, those of you who have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to arunfoot. Like this video. Akshada always says that. When you like videos, more people will be aware that we're doing these lives. And share it as well. So let's grow the community, guys. 1 second. How do you see East Bengal having so many underrated youth players in reserve, which they can use in future, supply to other clubs who have not been in India national youth setup? Sambit, they have to prove themselves. And it's not a question of East Bengal. Mohun Bagan has had a lot of them. The Blasters have a lot of them. BFC have a lot of them. But can these kids take that next step? And that is where they're all failing. So let's wait and see. They need to prove themselves. Or if there's some every time I watch European football pitches, also I think it's what India doesn't have on the similar court. I know this isn't a leading factor, but it's a factor to like two united views. Or it's very interestingly, that's one thing which I'm worried about at the Euros because the pitch quality has not been good. So there's certain things that UEFA has implemented onto the German system. And actually, I feel that the Euros are in some way not as well organized as the Bundesliga. So the grounds have been switched. New grass has been planted. Frankfurt, for example, has been having quite a bit of a problem since they hosted an American football game from the NFL last year. The rains have been an issue. The weather hot and cold. Now suddenly the sun is coming out again, but it was cold. It was quite cold this morning, less than 10 degrees. So therefore, these are all factors. Yeah. How do you compare I-League and ISL players apart from foreigners? Morally, the ISL players are superior to I-League players. There are certain top I-League players who can play in the ISL, but normally I would say ISL players are higher rated, to me at least, than I-League players. So do you support relegation, or do you think it is too early? Do we think we need to focus on developing I-League first? Relegation needs to come in at some stage, but at the moment I think it's not the time to do it. So therefore, for me, I think it's something which needs to wait a little bit more, maybe 1 or 2 more years. I also feel the ISL has grown too quickly, too fast. I don't think, with 13 teams this year, most likely, let's see what happens to Hyderabad. Hyderabad saying that they're playing tournaments, but I'm hearing that staff are quitting. I don't know how they're going to put a squad together. Let's see. Let's wait and see. To me, it has to happen at the right time. It's not, you can't create a roadmap on paper and say, this and this and this has to need to happen on those dates. But then you forget what the realities are. A lot of people are forgetting we've had 2 seasons of COVID, 2 COVID bubble seasons. All these are factors. Clubs are losing money left, right, and center. We need to find solution to those things. So relegation, yes, needs to come in at some stage. But at the moment, I don't think it's the right time. Sir, when are you coming to India? Most probably in the coming few weeks. Chetan, I'm excited about what new coach will bring to the table. Do you think he will keep every current squad player? Chetan, let's wait and let the AFF finalize the coach, and then we'll see. I am also excited at the moment, but who knows? To me, who knows? Maybe the wrong coach is appointed, in my opinion. Could happen. Therefore, let's wait and see. Tushar, why do you think reduction of teams in ISL is necessary, but it is not better for players to get more games and low-level players to get chances at the level so they get experience improve? Tushar, that could be one view of things. But if you see, I think the ISL growing from 10 to 11, 12, now 13 teams, I feel that the level has been diluted. I feel the level has not been as good as it could and should and needs to be. And we don't have the player pool. I think we need a few years to create a more high quality player pool. And that's something which will happen. Exposure, yes. Hyderabad, for example, great for those boys to have that exposure. It was a forced exposure, but it was an exposure, right? How many of them, if they're going to make a switch, are going to be playing regularly for other teams? That's the challenge. That's the real challenge that we have in Indian football today. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Ritam, how's the Kolkata football structure? Kolkata has the Premier Division and then first, second, third, fourth, fifth. The first is divided into an A and a B division, so seven leagues in total. That's the structure in Kolkata. Uday, if relegation start, every ISL owner builds a better team, quality of matches increases, pressure on players to improve fitness level, overall improve league quality. That's your opinion, right? If we have relegation, let's say we had relegation last season, Hyderabad got relegated. Do you think Hyderabad FC still exists? Right? Neroka and Trau played the I-League. With all that is happening in Manipur, I don't think Trau and Neroka should have played I-League. We're not honest to ourselves. All that you say is great, but no ISL owner will build a better team. He will spend the money that he thinks is right. And the match quality will not increase. The match quality has decreased, in my opinion. You've got some very good games, and some of the games are just shitty because the top 4 were good, were really good. And those who were fighting for a top 6 spot, sorry, it should have been top 4, not even top 5, 6. We need to be honest to ourselves. We have a quality issue in this league because of our Indian players. That's the reality. At least that's my opinion. You and other people might have another opinion, but my opinion is we have to increase the quality of the league overall. And if we keep growing the league, we are diluting the league. And this is an effect of being diluted that I see. Vignesh, tomorrow is the last day for submitting application for the Indian national team, national men's football team coach position. Interesting to see all that submit application. Yeah, let's wait and see also. Do you think Indian government wants to improve Indian football, or their main focus is on Olympic athletics games? I really don't know. I mean, football is not a priority for the government. That I can say. Is the Olympics really a priority, or is it a PR thing? We will see in Paris what happens at the Olympics in a few weeks. So let's wait and see. Monolith football structure in Europe, Japan, Korea, top level structure. Compared to India, we don't have replacement if someone perform poor. Yeah, reality. Chetan, one thing I want is whoever will be the coach should bring mentality and believe in our players. Also understand much more excuse only players didn't held accountable. Yeah, Chetan. Wondering how do you rate foreign players' technical skills? Anyone do you think match from India's side? Okay. How do you rate foreign player technical skills? Any one do you think match from India? See, we have better quality foreigners in the ISL today than we had. Even the I-League foreigners are better than they were 10, 15 years ago. So that's yes. But is it really top class? I doubt. They couldn't do better. So, but if I see international games, if I see, for example, the way Kuwait played, Lebanon played against us, they were technically better than us. That's my concern, right? So therefore, these are the things we need to rectify if we really want to move forward. That's the challenge. Sambit, I think you 10, 11 levels, some local person or local clubs could organize a structure football for 1 week and then another person for 1 week, and we can do that collectively. Some response if we can. Nice idea, but where can you if you can, there needs one, you can't. This is BB leagues, sort of grassroots, right? And the exposure level needs to be right. The competitiveness needs to be right. How do you ensure that? These are sort of basic problems. India gives exposure to us only at the time of mega event, rest of the time facing administration issue. Morally, yes and no. It happens around the world. It's not just an administration issue. At the moment, it's also a financial issue because the government is not supporting Indian football the way it should. These are, sad, brutal realities of Indian football at the moment, where we're stuck and things are not being done the way they should and need to be. Do you think we can make 2 teams from best I-League players or clubs replacing Hyderabad and low perform ISL teams? Good. You see, it's a very interesting theoretical question, Tushar, but I find it very difficult because I'm not sure if, there are certain players at Google and Kerala. There are certain players at Srini Deccan. There were certain players, at Mohammedan, of course. Churchill has some players, but are they good enough? Again, replacing Hyderabad is going to be difficult because despite having all the problems, these Hyderabad youngsters, played to a certain level. But there should be some penalties on finishing last, like they start with -5 points next season. Just an idea. Then at least team will fear finishing last. I don't know. Maybe, but again, what does it help if you inflict a points penalty on a team to finish last in the ISL? I don't think it has anything. Classic Gaming, hello, welcome back. What do you think about Big Hit? Can we hope something good from it? I don't know, because so far it is more of a PR outreach program. It doesn't look to me to be a sustained program where you're gonna develop talent. So they will have to prove me wrong. Arnab, do you see in the EU team? I doubt if any scouting were done at all. There are guys who didn't even get proper game time. Many were promoted from the U17 that were appalling last tournament. Arnab, I don't know how they did it, so therefore for me to be able to say or judge, very difficult. Yeah. Japan beating Germany twice, two times. Is it fast pace of football? No, Murali, the first one was the World Cup. And again, if you look at the World Cup, Japan had incredible stats in regard to beating Germany and Spain. The second was a friendly, and Germany was, was not in form. So therefore, I would have said, uh, to me, it happens. It happens. Football is a game where a smaller team can beat a bigger team. Look at Georgia beating Poland the other night. How do you compare Jingan and Anwar? Murali, I think it's a difficult comparison because they're two different kinds of players. Jingan comes more with power and passion, and Anwar, to me, is better technically. When do you think Indian football missed the bus? Oh, it started in 1950 when we didn't go for the World Cup. I think the biggest blunder in Indian football. If we'd gone to the World Cup, maybe who knows? So please take my comment. General, I don't know if I missed it. Please, General, post it again, and then I'll surely take it. Considering the size of a country, don't you think we need to expand our league to at least 18 teams? We still don't have North and Central Indian region clubs in ISL. Utsav, as I explained a little earlier, I think even a 13-team league is too big for India at the moment. I think we don't have the quality for a 13-team league. So these are the realities. Ideally, we should have a league of 18 to 20 teams down the road. But for that to happen, I think that we need to do the right things. And that is not being done at the moment. Orijit, do you think BCCI like private organizations is more suited for improvement of football rather than a government-aided corrupt AFF? Orijit, AFF is a private organization like the BCCI. I don't know why you guys think that the AFF is something totally different. How much of government aid does the AFF get? Oritro, don't you think Bagan's new centre-back choice is slow and will have problems with the speed of ISSF than AFC is there? Let's see. Let's see. And to me, let him arrive, let him play, and then we'll see. Now, recently the Bayern Youth project from which the Indian team was selected, and from that was selected also players from Africa, South America. Yeah, they've got the FC Bayern World Squad, but yeah, let's see what he does. Don't you think Apuya's Asia level? He's still young though. Classic Gamer, he has the potential, but he's not Asia level now. If we want to talk about Asia level, he has to prove it. Apuya has the potential, but he hasn't proved it. So he will have to do something to prove that he is potentially good enough to make that next step. So yeah, that's going to be the challenge for him. Muradi, one second, let me just have a sip of water. Scouting is difficult because of the size of the country and population. Murali, yes and no, because if you're scouting, you should know where you're going and when you're going. So to me, that's going to be the thing. Size doesn't matter in regard to the country, big or small. If you know where to go, you'll find the right players and the right talent. That's going to be the challenge. Actually, huge difference still. Yes, Apuya is talented, but again, still some way to go to the top. Dhruva Jyoti, welcome back. Did you research on the Punjab FC manager? There aren't too many information, but you heard his track record isn't good. Mostly managed Greek third and fourth tier teams. Lower level, yeah, I agree. Nico seems to know him, so therefore, let's wait and see how he performs. Only performance in AFC Cup, Los Angeles turning point of eager career. I felt earlier, a lot of fans didn't think so. We were winning, but I felt we weren't doing well. It's, yeah, so let's see. Generally, an AFF, Onaf sir, please contact Duvrati and ask him to make a video on any football if you agree or disagree with him, but he has an impact on topic that is. Yeah, let's see if he does do something on Indian football. Or is it true Jordan and Georgia had less than AFF budget? What is AFF doing with it? Jordan so far ahead of us. Um, yes, we have spent more. With Georgia, I have to say they've had Kalatse used to play at it's AC Milan. You've had Levan Kubiashvili, their president or vice president of the federation, who used to play at Freiburg and Schalke. So they've had top level players. India's system is bloated because the players' salaries are so high and the cost is high in India. That's the problem in Indian football at the moment, in my opinion. What do you think are the basic things that needs to be done to take Indian football to next level? I've been saying this: sort out grassroots, sort out youth football. Coaching is a big problem, and competitions. Sort these things out at youth level, grassroots, and at senior level. We're sorted. Big Kid got Bayern scouts. What more do you want? Yeah, but how were the kids selected? You know, I've worked for Bayern. I know these guys, so they're not really impressed. Do you see us getting better as an organization amid social media rise and information transparency? What's the influence of social media and information transparency? Has it helped? Things are bad, worse than without. Yeah, it's not helping. The AFF at the moment is worse off than it was 2 years, 3 years ago. Reality. Ogni, welcome back. How do you see Mohan signings? Players with potential, and we'll have to wait and see. I think it also depends of how Molina gets his team to play. Someone that recently came across the African Football Star event, where many African FAs hold events with name to win Africa a World Cup. The youth development so army like rigid, very intense. Some of African teams are doing a lot. Are they doing things right? Some of them, yes. A lot of things, no, most probably. So therefore, it's a mixed bag. In my opinion, it's a mixed bag, and they will have to prove what they can do, what they can't do. To me, the challenge is with the African teams have potential, but they need to perform on a regular basis. Utsav, what are the European countries where the visa rules are more lenient, where our youth players could play for development? Utsav, there are no European countries with the lenient visa ruling because it's law of FIFA and the European Union, so no chance. Southgate, England not up to the mark. Yeah, Murali, I couldn't agree more with you on this. Arijit, US men's national team in Mexico were eliminated at group stage at Copa. Are this men that good? They were touted as dark horse prior to the start of Copa. Ajit, I think the problem with America is the same as with India. I think the coach, Greg Berhalter, is the problem. You change the manager, I think America is the United States of America is the USA a much better team. I think a lot of teams around the world at the moment have a coach problem. I thought yesterday France, Didier Deschamps, with the talent that he has, okay, he's won a World Cup as a captain and a World Cup as a coach, but this France team looked shitty. Sorry, Belgium have yeah. People talk still about the golden generation, and this like Kevin De Bruyne and Lukaku left. Vertonghen, an old 37-year-old Vertonghen. So these are all the things. Obviously, this country is too small compared to India. We need more money. Yeah, that's one. But again, we need to spend it wisely. Arnav, do our Indian scouts and youth coaches know how to spot talents? I saw the youths of Portugal, Spain. They look at the same build as us. Does many technical players get killed at the very beginning? Arnav, yes and no. I think scouting is generally a problem in India. And the way, again, how we coach our kids, that's the problem. And yeah, the weaker ones are filtered out. So therefore, could a Messi have come through the system in India? Most probably not. Right. So that's the reality. Given you same high scoring game, Ugni, I don't really know. because it's one of those games which could be high scoring, which could be attacks at both ends, but it could also turn out to be a tactical game where both coaches sort of, take a wait and watch approach. So therefore, I'm looking forward to Friday. I think the two best teams of this Euro so far, um, and therefore for me, yeah, I would love to. Again, I'm I'm born here in Germany. I live here in Germany. I support Germany, so I would hope Germany beats Spain on Friday. Have we played the World Cup when we were invited? We could have been the best team in Asia. Gentlemen, who knows if we would? But I think our history would be different because we wouldn't have the discussion of saying, "Hey, when will we play the World Cup?" You know. So maybe I don't know, but I do feel the discussions and the conversations would have been different if we had played a World Cup or had played the World Cup in 1950. I think that's what I'm trying to say. So for me, yeah, that's the one of those challenges which we didn't handle properly and didn't handle right, in my opinion. I wonder if the same thing happened like Indian football anywhere around the world and that system would be sacked. Only the FA is still in power. Southgate has been around for a long time. In France, yeah, the president had to go, but for something else. Doesn't have to be. Somewhat what I've observed as an amateur is that African players' training is so different. They train like special forces on the hot sun, lifting weights, young kids training, shooting, ball control for us. Somewhat, yeah, let's see. They're willing to do where we in India say, oh, it's too hot and this and that and everything. We find reasons of not doing things. They don't care. They just do it. That's the problem. We have a mentality problem also. Classic Gaming Bang, I'm disappointed by defender signings, hoping they would get Pepe. Let's see. But I don't think Pepe was on the cards anyway. Why every best Indian player going to Mohun? Does Mohun give really high salaries compared to other ISL clubs? Yes, Tushar, they are paying the highest salaries in the league at the moment. Thanks for the welcome, sir. Appreciate a lot. Welcome, all costs. Dark Knight Cricket prize money 125 crores. They have a yearly budget. Yeah. The bigger team often beaten less fascination is because of tactics of the team. Morally, yes, can be. It doesn't have to be. Well, now the Indonesian youth players like under 20 and 20 stay there for years, play in Dutch league, become better, and then they leave Dutch passport, take up Indian passport, Indonesia benefiting. Yeah, but they've created a system. No? I mean, they've got a former Inter Milan president in Eric Toro as their sports minister. They have welcomed the players. In India, if a player, if XYZ player says tomorrow, you know what, I want to play for India, I want to take up Indian citizenship. No one will help him. The FF can't help him. The government won't help him. Aratha needed 5 years to get a passport. He only played in the last 18 months of his career for India. He didn't play in his prime. These are realities of India. Dark Knight, Germany winning, I hope. Do you think Robert is a good manager for one? What's your thoughts on him? Roberto Martinez, he's a good coach. He's a good coach. But maybe he has to take the tough call at some stage, has to put Ronaldo on the bench. That most probably is going to be the tough call that he needs to make. And is he willing to do that? Ralph Rangnick did it at Man United at some stage. Classic Gaming, that's very wrong that we can't play in Europe because of under 70 ranked role. That's only for England. We can play in other countries. So Kumar is an example, even Jingan and Croatia. Yeah, but we're talking about youth. So, yeah, that's the thing. How do you place Uzbekistan Asian level after Japan, Korea? Murali, Uzbekistan certainly will be behind, as I say, Japan, Korea. But you've got also Australia, you've got Iran, you've got the Saudis. Qatar is in there. So, yeah, they will be mostly 8th to 10th in Asia. South Indonesia doesn't allow dual citizenship yet. Players of Indonesia or in Europe are ready to leave their European citizenship Dutch passport. They play good level and take up English passport. Yes. There is a high chance India will be humiliated again at Asian Cup qualifiers. Syria, Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand, even Bangladesh will easily beat us. Also, do think Kuwait can qualify? Or is it? I don't think Kuwait will qualify for the World Cup. Apu is a marking signing now. I don't know. Classic Gaming if he's a marquee signing or not. On up, Spain is good, but the way its coach is brilliant. De La Fuente is being around the youth setup for long. Don't see a way Germany wins unless there is a Musiala magic. Spain is clinical. On up, I watched Spain against Italy, and they were everything but clinical. And I thought tactically Spain wasn't as good as, if you watch a 90-minute match live in a stadium, I feel it's different than when you're watching it on telly. And I thought Spain Italy was a poor game. Not only Italy was poor, certainly poor, but even Spain, and Lamine Jamal, one of the biggest talent in world football, but he's wasteful still. Again, yes, he's 16, but if you're playing for Spain and there are other players on the bench who could play in that position, you have to score off your chances. Nico Williams has been that impact player, but I think it's going to be interesting because I think Germany is not just Musiala. I think Kai Havertz has been outstanding in this tournament. I think Kai Havertz is one of the most underrated players in world football. Toni Kroos is Toni Kroos. So it's going to be interesting how Toni Kroos plays, because will Rodri have to push up that much, which would potentially give space to Gundogan? Those guys used to play together at City. So there are a lot of subplots. And I would think, if having seen the teams, I would actually rate Germany higher than Spain. Because I think Germany is a more finished product than the Spanish, funnily, which I would have never thought 6 months ago. Tushar, AFF president high up should be people who think football day and night. I don't like going to Germany because they're staying in elections. Well, that's the reality. Now, sir, frankly speaking, it's hard to be Indian football fans. My advice to Indian football followers, please be strong emotionally. Yes, that's certainly one of the things, Ginger earlier. How do you rate the coaches based on winning or better improved teams compared to last? It depends on the coach, and overall, it's not just what is his track record on winning, what is has he improved the team, the players, what is his off-field demeanor, how does he interact with the media, how is he too involved in social media? There are a lot of factors which go into it. It's not just a yes or no question. Why we're not in Kings Cup, America Cup this year? We weren't invited. We wanted to go, but we weren't invited. Dark Knight, why India company like Tata don't sponsor FIFA AFC? Don't know. Yeah. Indian companies are nowhere to be seen. Musiala dribble is just amazing. Is it natural talent or he developed? Musiala is to some extent natural talent, but it is also hard work. So you can't replace hard work. You have to work on things. You have to do things. That's the most important thing. Someone should be looking forward to Asian Cup 2027 qualifiers. I just don't see any hope. Seeing the teams in pots is worth spending hard-earned money when the team and players will just show up. Let's wait and see. Yeah? Let's wait and see. We need to be at the AFC Asian Cup 2027, but at the moment we're nowhere near. That's my concern. Do you think Panama, Venezuela, or Ecuador can upset Copa favorites like Argentina and Uruguay? Probably also. Do you see any weaker sides becoming Europe champions this year? Arjit, I'm not following the Copa so closely, so for me to make a judgment is very difficult. And the Euro, I think England came somehow through, France came somehow through, Portugal somehow came through. By now, Austria, Switzerland are no dark horses for me. I think they are in the mix. They've reached the quarters and have played well. Yeah, it will be interesting to see. But it could be interesting to see who wins it in the end, but it looks like one of the usual suspects. Tushar, Spain was Germany. Let's see who will control the game, Kroos or Rodri. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, let's wait and see what happens. 1 second. Sorry. Tushar, Spain, let's see who will control the game, Kroos or Rodri. That's going to be one of the interesting parts, because I feel also in Germany, what you saw against Switzerland, that the Swiss tried to sort of checkmate Kroos and then the others took over. So it will be interesting to see. Someone is US football team actually elite? They're good. Are they elite? I wouldn't say at the moment. The key this season for Spain, who's going under the radar, are the fullbacks and Fabian Ruiz. Fullback certainly. Fabian Ruiz was better against Georgia, but I thought Fabian Ruiz was the weak point against Italy. Missing too many balls, missing the moment where to play the ball. So again, that's what I see when I saw it live. Arijit, the more I see F, the more I visit Pakistan Cricket Board, completely shameless, inept, and moderate corrupt. I don't know the Pakistan Cricket Board, so I can't say anything. Dark Knight, we need to coach like Constantine. Yeah, let's wait to see. Someone's USA football team actually, like they have the players playing in top leagues as well, but they get beaten by Panama and smacked by Colombia. Can they survive in Euros? I think a lot of South American teams would struggle at the Euros. So difficult to say. And even Mexico got eliminated, right? So I don't know. Classic game towards the last date of application for Indian football team manager so far. How feeling with Candid Plights? Any other names that you wish should have played? I've not seen the whole list, so therefore I can't say who I wish or I thought should have played. It's going to be interesting. Let's see. And then let's see the process. I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing the process of how they're going to get down, with a few hundreds having applied to getting to 5 or 3 and then inviting them over. Sanskar Mohan Bagan is not that much great. That hype they made other players hype. See, Mohan Bagan didn't do the hype. It was done by the media and the fans. That they're signing this player, they're signing that player. Mohan Bagan didn't do it. How do you rate player injury management in India compared to Europe, other parts of the world? Well, I think a player injury management is a problem around the world these days. Players have injuries. Football has become faster, quicker, more complex. So therefore, uh, um, you know, um, so therefore, it certainly isn't as good as Europe, most probably. But again, some of the teams have good doctors and physios. So let's see. Arnav, how does a coach like Southgate don't get Fortin? Isn't working on wing. Bellingham isn't in 10 and Trippier and left back. Yeah, but it's not that. It's the overall team isn't working for England. And that would be my concern. England is not working as a team. That is the challenge, in my opinion. That England needs to sort itself out, and if it wants to be, a challenger in this tournament. And so far I feel they aren't, right? So therefore, yeah, let's wait and see how England can improve and get better. But a lot of work to be done. Samad, don't you think Germany fullbacks are like really weak? They used to have players like Lahm now who is Mittelstadt. I don't think so, Samad. I mean, if I look at Joshua Kimmich, I think Joshua Kimmich can be compared to a Lahm. I think Joshua Kimmich is that. And Germany, Mittelstadt had an exceptional season at Stuttgart. Um, and now David Raum is playing, and Raum is giving a little bit more energy at the moment. So you've got options, and I think that's the good thing with Germany. Indian football started way back under British Raj. Why are we lacking behind in Asia? Because we didn't do things which are needed to improve our football. People were glorifying things, or still glorifying. A film like Maidan doesn't help because it doesn't ask the real questions of why we didn't do what we did, and we glorify Olympics and Asian Games. We should have been playing the World Cup, period. That's the real problem. Aditya, hi, welcome. What do you think signing of Noah by Kerala Blasters? Good signing. Noah Sadui has had 2 good seasons. Lacked a little bit in the end, the killer punch, but is a player that I think will be interesting to see how he combines also with Adra and Luna. That's an interesting combo coming next season. How are you ever going to select from 200 applicants? Probably an astrologer. Tushar, there are means and ways, and I'm sure let's see what happens. India not competing at Merdeka Cup. Yeah, Ajit, that's a fact. They're not competing at Merdeka. They're not competing at Kings Cup. India hasn't been invited. Mumbai City Football Club defensive midfielder signing update. I really want Vipin at Mumbai City FC. There is no update. I mean, I did a video yesterday. Those of you who haven't watched, on the topic of who could be an option for, not in regard to Mumbai City, but rather is Kerala Blasters able to retain Jigson and Vipin? So, yeah, that's an interesting question. Some more than 250 plus 300 applicants are now viable. Not only have need also we need fortune teller. Chala. Let's see. Sorry. We need a film on AFF mismanagement. I'll use the state affairs. Yeah, good, but is it going to change something? Maybe a Netflix series might be good. Murali, Hugo Boom was wonderful to watch. Yes, certainly. Great player. Some of the team from Asia you think will have bright future, not top teams in Asia, others. See, Uzbekistan is one of those who I expect at some stage to break through to the top, but Uzbeks have not done it. So let's hope that Uzbekistan is better and qualifies actually for the World Cup. Also, this is true. India football team was recently invited to Copa America and they didn't respond. Are they crazy? India should have played world-class teams. No, we have not been invited recently. Nishant, sir, Cape Verde has around 500 professional footballer in their country, but still they perform good in CAFA. Yeah, it can be. I mean, that's enough. If your pool is good enough, and Cape Verde have the top players playing in Europe or in other African countries. Not only we don't go to play World Cup, we also ditch the qualifiers for so many years. Meanwhile, Korea and Iran got ahead of us. Yeah, Cassie Gaming perfectly said, right? The FF and the Indian football top brass thought it was not needed to go and play the World Cup qualifiers. Mural Igor said, apart from Luna Ogbecha, the foreigners are not good level. Mural, he said it. TK, let him say it. You know, and I know hopefully that there have been very, very good players in this league over the years. I mean, we've had top stars like Diego Forlan coming to India, and Diego Forlan performed at Mumbai City. Greg Stewart, great player. Bomus, great player. Kauko, great player. So we've had many, many, many players. Classic Gaming, please tell us about this astrologer incident. Are there great jokers in hiring astrologer for selecting players? See, Classic Gaming, I've heard multiple stories about this astrologer thing. I don't know what the real story is, so therefore, you know, let's wait and see. But to me, let's not get into depth in this. Shashank Reddy, BFC management is so late to announce signings that all fans know more about team through rumors than through club. I feel my club isn't taking things as professional as it used to under Manda. I don't know if that's really the approach of BFC. Uh, um, and I think the club needs to decide when, if and when it wants to make those announcements. And that's going to be the challenge of what's happening. But yeah, BFC will make their announcements. BFC is working on things again, and the rumor mills are. Mohun Bagan is a good example, right? Mohun Bagan seems to have signed XYZ player, and now suddenly you see someone else is being signed. On a Bakshi, talent pool size doesn't matter. It's the quality training that matters. More the pool size, more is the chance of wrong filtering. I don't think so. If you have more talent, if your pool is bigger, you have more to choose from. And then the top kids will have to work hard to achieve and reach the next level. Didn't FIFA ban AFF because AFF was Olympics for like 20 years? No. So a few days back, some kids selected AFF FIFA Bhubaneswar Academy but helped their parents, club or academy don't get any compensation. Nishant, I don't know what the process is and what is happening. Let's see what happens. Do you think Indonesia can top 10 in Asia and would they qualify for the World Cup? They got Japan, Australia, and Saudi, maybe fourth place and qualify fourth round. Um, Indonesia, yes, to me at the moment is a top 10 Asian country. But as you've mentioned, Japan, Australia, and Saudi looks tough, looks very, very tough. Murali, Chennai FC past few seasons not good in signing forward and foreign player team. I think as you mean Chennai FC. So, you know, Yeah, Own Quad is building a good squad. Looks really promising. Bhutan has VR and domestic league, and India doesn't. Arijit, what Bhutan has created is a localized version with international help. I don't think that would work in the ISL. We also have to realize where we are, how big we are. You know, so let's wait and see. Uh, but it's not working for us. So in the way it would work in Bhutan. Do you think the parent club deserve compensation? How it happens in Europe? Yes, Nishan certainly is. You know, um, they deserve compensation, and let's see. There is a compensation system within the AFF, so let's see if that's you know. Somewhat international break is honestly more entertaining in club football. It brings out crazy emotions that club football cannot really match, as the quarter football may not be good. Yeah. Are our players good enough to play in Australian League? Tushar, I feel it's tough for our players to play in Australia. Australia, the level is quite good. Pavan always signed on so many foreign strikers. Where would they play? Cummins, Sadiku, McLaren, Petratos. Classic Gaming, have they signed McLaren? Is Sadiku staying? Do you know that? So let's wait and see. Other Asian team allow peer, which makes India hard to compete. They're miles ahead. Yeah, Murai, that's a fact. Nishant said, Master Agreement failed. Do you think AFF can run ISL? No, I think the ISL could be history then. How many transfer fees we got for Puya Classic? I know a certain figure, but I don't know if it's public information, so I'm not going to disclose it. Arnab, I saw a picture of a guy from Persia who was sent for FIFA Cat trials who's documented to be a 2010 born. That guy has a full beard. Age fraud needs to be stopped immediately. Uh, yeah, but Arnab, the foreign coaches have turned down a lot of players. So therefore, I think age fraud from a certain aspect, from a certain side, is being handled in some sort of formal way. Not the best way, I guess, but I think the FIFA coaches have turned down quite a few number of players already who have come and wanted to join the program. So would you say that India is top 10 in Asia with origin players? Yes, but with local players, they're more closer to us than top 10 of Asia, really. Um, I would think with their local players, they would be better than us at the moment, but they wouldn't be top 10. I think they would, maybe 10, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, that's where I would see. What's your thoughts on not participating in the Dega Cup? Roshni, we're going to play two friendlies. I'm fine. Sorry. Shashank, ACC to Star Sports Premier League viewership has increased by 6 but here AF is not able to find broadcaster for I-League. I am very careful with the broadcasting numbers that television channels come out with, and there is no interest in a broadcast. I mean, if Reliance didn't own Sports City and Sport 18 would not be showing ISL. Right? These are realities. Arjun, regarding Copa, I was following Dead Ball TV. That anchor was mentioning trash teams like India's were coached by Common Ball for participation Copa for viewership. That's why I asked. Arjit, I've heard in the past rumors about India, but nah, don't think so. Murali, Aspire Academy, your thoughts on it? World class facilities. Murali, I've been to the Aspire Academy many years back. It's really good. It is really, really good and great. Yeah, let's see. Classic Gaming Kratki said that Indian players will play in A-League in next 6 years. Yeah, let's hope so. Tushar, where is Ishan Pandita? What happened? Not seen him play good since the Goa season. He was with Jamshedpur thereafter, then with Kerala Blasters last season. And now we'll see what Ishan does. I hope he takes the right decision and plays for a club who will give him an opportunity. I think that's what Ishan Pandita needs at the moment. He needs a club who gives him an opportunity where he can perform at a good level. That's Ishan's challenge. That's the challenge not only for him but for strikers in an Indian context. It's like David signing for East Bengal. He didn't play much for Mohammedan last season in the I-League. Yes, he was the top scorer in CFL and Durand, whatever. But David going to East Bengal, you've got Diamantak was signed, you have Clayton at the club. And then the attacking players. Let's see. How did Suresh technical skills? Suresh for me is more of a fighter. less of a technical player, more of a fighter, a warrior, you know. So see it differently. Do you see what did you see what BBC wrote? Cristiano Ronaldo after his penalty miss, cross mismanagement. Someone is a huge Ronaldo hater there. Oh no, I don't think so. What Ronaldo yesterday did was selfish. He has put himself above the team. I think Portugal without Ronaldo are better. And some Portuguese friends are now saying that. They said, listen, he's been a legend for us, but I guess it's time to move on. That was a disgrace what he did yesterday. You're the captain of that team. You are crying like a 5-year-old. If you can't do that, don't be on the pitch. Get substituted, do something. But bah, terrible. Disgrace. Yes. You know, I use much, much worse words. Friends of mine use much, much worse words about that, what happened yesterday. Is ISL ID club a good choice for Ishan? Tushar, it depends. If that club is going to give him a chance, or they have two foreign strikers. No simple answer. Do you think Komal Tata can still make a comeback? Classic gaming, I would hope. Um, but I don't know. I would hope. Had a lot of potential. Do you think women players are going more compared to men? Morally, because the standard is not as high. And the game is still at an evolving stage. Therefore, for our women, it is possible to go. Sir, in Khelo India games, football is included. How we can utilize it right manner? Nishan, I don't rate Khelo India games. We need our own system. Suresh is like Conte, engine without any limits, keeps running still last minute. Yeah, classic, but I saw Conte yesterday, and that guy is very, very special. And let's see. Or is it under circumstances if POC players are not called up in Indian football, we won't go anywhere? Yeah, that's the reality. Let's see. Arnab, I agree 100%. Jota, Felix, and Ramos on bench, and you're playing at the turn for under 20 minutes. Silva, Bruno were there to take free kicks only if they speak up. Even Bernardo Silva and Bruno Fernandes, not good enough. Yeah, yeah, that's the reality. Glenn Martin's missing long time. How do you compare him with Jackson Singh? Jackson is much, much better than Glenn Martin. You know, Glenn has had his ups and has his moments, but Jackson is, to me, is a much, much better player overall. Yeah, that's 100% a given. Right, 1 hour and 14 minutes. Why Ronaldo showing emotion is a disgrace? He still stepped up and scored the first penalty in shootout. It's not showing emotion. See, showing emotion, I'm fine. Emotion are part of the game. To me, he made it all about himself. It wasn't about the team. It was all about him. The camera was focused on. It was not about the team. And this football is still a team game. So that is something which needs to be done. And this is something which needs to happen. But again, it's not done. So yeah, I hope it is rectified. But yeah, we know what happens. It's yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it. Period. And Ragozhin, yeah, Netherlands leading 1-0 against Romania. Raymond Thompson, KFC just retain him. Sanskar, not clear. Are you going to keep on making these live streams or make videos with collabs with many football regarding football development? We missed those past videos. Somewhat, I want to do it, but again, my timelines at the moment are so difficult that for me, it's very difficult to try and align with people. So yeah, that's the challenge at the moment. Drowsy for Spurs looks like a bang look at gameplay, certainly. I don't agree with you. Ronaldo and Pepe still got it. They didn't have bad Euros till now, but he shouldn't have cried like that. Ronaldo is known for his mentality. Classic gaming. Ronaldo has had a bad Euros. Sorry. And Pepe, if Benjamin Šeško is a little bit more composed, Pepe would have cost the Euros for Portugal. So what are we talking about, my friend? For me, it doesn't work. We're struggling to find strikers. And what about midfield? Yeah, we've got players, but again, I want better level players. We've got a lot of on a similar level. We don't have that special. That's why Apuya is special. Mentality matters all if you don't have the skill to back. Okay. He said he started crying because he saw his mother crying on the large screen and they felt this will be the last time he will play for Portugal. Samat, again, you're trying to justify this is trying to justify the unjustifiable. You know? So that's it. Guys, I see you've still got questions, but I actually have to leave. Uh, uh, and we could go on, and I know, but again, I have to stop the live now. We'll continue in the coming days. And thanks for joining. As always, those of you who haven't, please subscribe to arunfoot and like the video, share the video, so more people can join us in this. And I'll be back in the coming days. I'm not 100% sure, but I hope I'll be having a little time again. We'll be going for the one or the other match of the Euros as well. And I see you guys very, very soon. Bye for now.